Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be checking out what might be the smallest and most portable wireless flash trigger. This is the Godox X3. This is the Canon edition, so whether you have the Fuji version or the Sony one, it doesn't matter. They all pretty much work the same. Now, right out of the box, I want to compliment Godox on their design. This is a very sleek, very compact piece of hardware, and it is super lightweight, weighing at about only 80 grams. As someone who uses a pretty heavy setup, this is perfect because I cannot be weighed down. Because of its size and weight, I find putting it in my camera bag is super easy. It does not take up any space, and I can even add an extra battery or maybe an extra filter or something like that to my event because I have now freed up space. Next, I want to talk about the battery life. So the battery life of the Godox X3 is about 5 days, and they say it's about 6,000 flashes per charge. I read online that it's about 7 days of standby time, so if you just accidentally left this on, you're pretty much good for 7 days. That is pretty awesome. The fact that it's USB-C is even more awesome because I am so sick and tired of having to carry AA batteries. Prior to photography, I never really used those. Now that I'm in it, I have dozens and dozens of AA batteries, even the rechargeable ones, so that is very helpful. And in addition to that, I always carry a USB-C cable with me because my MacBook uses it, my iPad uses it, my phone uses it. Pretty much every single piece of technology uses a USB-C, so it's pretty cool that they integrated that into this little device. In addition to the extra long battery life of the Godox X3, it also only takes 2 hours to fully charge it. So one thing I wanted to go over is the actual size difference in comparison to something like the X2T, which is a lot chunkier, a lot bigger. We put it on the Canon R5, which is already a pretty big camera. This is how it looks. See how bulky it is and how much it protrudes. Next, we'll go ahead and put our Godox X3. Look at the difference that makes. That is a huge difference. I don't know about you, but this right here is a game changer. Super easy. It weighs a lot less. I'm usually rocking a 2470 2.8, which is a lot bigger than this nifty 50 over here. In order to remove it, you have a physical button that you press down and slide out, and that's a lot easier than the old method, which was this kind of clamp here and switch. They're both pretty easy, but it's always good having a new design. With the Godox X3, you get a super intuitive touchscreen, very easy to navigate, very easy to use. It is very responsive. When I hit the settings, you can see how fast that's moving and how buttery it looks. To go back, we'll just swipe left and we're back at our home screen, which is where we can control all of our flashes. Hit letter A, which is programmed to my V1 at the moment. I'll click on it. I can turn on TTL mode. I can turn on regular manual mode. I can pause it. If I wanted to turn on the modeling lamp, I just hit this bulb here, and now we can control the brightness here at the bottom, hitting the plus or the minus. You could also slide the, little rocker that's there. I find that a little bit harder to do because my hands are a little bit bigger, a little chunkier. Same goes with the top. We'll slide left and we'll go to letter B, which is my D600. But although it says TTL here, it won't actually do it because the D600 does not actually offer that. So we'll stick with manual mode, and we can, again, plus or minus the power. To add another one, we can go down to the plus sign, and we have A through F for the letters, and then all the way from 0 to 9. Now, it is very important to know that groups A through E do have TTL, while the F through 9 is manual mode only. So you do have a limit on how many TTL devices you can use. So if you have a lot of different flash, a lot of 8200s or 80 whatever hundreds, then you do need to be careful, because that is something that you could run into. For those of you who do not like touchscreen, there is a slider here on the side that also works very well and very responsive. You just slide to your setting and you press down, and boom, now you're in another section. You've confirmed your settings. Very responsive, very fast. Another button here on the side is the on off switch and the menu button. If you click that, it'll take you to the menu mode. The Godox X3 does support manual mode, TTL mode, and multi-mode. For those who are using multi-mode, you will be happy that this does offer that as well. I did want to show you just exactly how that works to pair one of your devices. Here on the left, I have my Godox V1 Pro. It's programmed to group A channel 27. It's listed there on the top left-hand corner. And here, if we hit the modeling lamp, you can see that the modeling lamp has turned on, and I can control its brightness. And you can see just how responsive it is. There's no lag. It's super quick, super easy to use. If I hit the plus or minus, again, we are going to change the output power. I hit the flash button here, and there we go. We shot off our flash. If I wanted to pause one, let's say I want to pause my TT600 here on the right, we hit the pause button, set off my flash, and now we've only shot from the V1. One cool thing that we can also do, which is similar to all of the other Godox products, is we can control all of the groups simultaneously by hitting the plus or minus. This is a feature that does exist on some of the other Godox flash triggers, but it's good to see that you can also do it on this new one. They didn't remove the feature. When it comes to the cons of the Godox X3, there's really only maybe about two that I can really see happening. The first one is kind of user error, and pretty much, maybe it's only me, but devices that are this small, they tend to get lost very, very easily. And not only do they get lost very easily, I have a very bad habit of leaving things in my pocket and not checking it before I wash. This can very easily make its way into the washing machine and the dryer before I even notice it was gone. Like I said, this is a me problem. I can see someone misplacing it at a venue or at an event. They put it down on a table, someone goes to the table, ends up moving it, and it falls to the ground, falls underneath a very tight spot. So that is also something that can happen, and I'm sure does happen. That would be one of my biggest complaints, because yeah, you don't want to lose your stuff. You don't want to wash your stuff. I've lost countless amounts of AirPods and buds and headphones and USBs. It is horrible, very horrible. So I need to always put this in my bag and somewhere safe. It's pretty much the biggest complaint I have. The second con that I can think of is if for any reason the Godox X3 were to die on you and you did not have any chargers, you are pretty much, it's pretty much a nightmare if that were to happen. But one cool thing about it is you can charge it while it is mounted and still use it, which is pretty cool. But like I said, if you didn't have any chargers, any cables, and you were completely unprepared, then, you know, that kind of sucks. Now it's time to get serious. Is the Godox X3 worth it? As somebody who values sleek, compact, easy to use devices, I would say yes. Anything that can make my kit smaller and easier to carry during a long event is always an absolute yes. The fact that it is as reliable as the previous model, the previous Godox flash triggers, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's USB-C, it's touchscreen, it's got a long battery. This is the perfect little flash for me. So if you're in the Godox system and you're looking for something that is more modern, this is definitely the flash trigger that you want. And yeah, test it out. Tell me what you like about it. Tell me what you don't like about it. and leave a comment down below.